Hey there. Poverty is a major issue in many countries across the world. Millions of people earn very little, have limited opportunities, and struggle just to get by. Since so many problems seem to come from a lack of money, a common question comes up. Why don't governments just print more money? If everyone had more money, wouldn't everyone be richer and happier? Well, as simple as that sounds, it doesn't actually work that way. In this video, we're going to explain why governments can't just print more money to solve poverty. First, let's talk about what really happens when more money is printed. If you ask your parents or teachers, they'll probably say it causes inflation. But what exactly is inflation? Inflation happens when prices rise because there's more money in circulation, but the amount of goods and services stays the same. Our economy follows the law of supply and demand. When supply is high and demand is low, prices go down. But when supply is low and demand is high, prices rise, and that's inflation. When inflation becomes extreme, it's called hyperinflation. To make this easier to understand, let's use a simple bread example. Imagine one loaf of bread costs $5. Bob, John, Alex, Jack, and Tony each have $5, and there are only 5 loaves of bread available. Everyone can buy one loaf for $5. Now imagine the government prints more money and gives everyone an extra $5. Each person now has $10, but there are still only 5 loaves of bread. Naturally, everyone wants to buy 2 loaves instead of 1, but the bakery can't suddenly produce more bread. Seeing that people are competing and can afford to pay more, the bakery decides to raise the price from $5 to $10 per loaf. That's normal human behavior, trying to earn more profit. In the end, everyone still gets just 1 loaf, but now they pay $10 for it instead of 5. So did printing more money make them richer? No. There are still only 5 loaves of bread. Unless the bakery can produce more bread, prices won't go back down. Does this make the bakery richer? Not really. At first, profits increase, but soon all bakeries have more money and want to buy more wheat. The problem is that wheat needs farmland to grow, and farmland is limited. Farmers can't increase production fast enough, so bakeries start competing for wheat, driving wheat prices up. As wheat becomes more expensive, bakeries raise bread prices again to protect their profit. This cycle keeps pushing prices higher. So the conclusion is simple. Printing more money without increasing the supply of goods and services leads to inflation. Prices rise, money loses value, and economic problems get worse instead of better. Now you might think this sounds like a terrible idea and no country would ever do it. Unfortunately, some countries have tried and it ended badly. Let's look at a few famous examples. First, the Weimar Republic in the 1920s. After Germany lost World War I, the German Empire collapsed and the Weimar Republic was formed. The country was devastated, infrastructure was destroyed, unemployment was high, and chaos was everywhere. On top of that, the Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to pay massive war reparations. The government had no money, so it started printing more to pay debts and cover expenses. This led to extreme inflation. By November 1923, prices were doubling every few hours. People needed wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy food. A loaf of bread that cost 250 marks in January 1923 rose to 200 billion marks by November. Savings were wiped out, society became unstable, and this chaos helped create conditions for the rise of a dangerous political figure who would later change history. Next, Zimbabwe in the late 2000s. Zimbabwe, formerly Rhodesia, transitioned out of apartheid-style rule in the 1980s. The new government redistributed land from white farmers to black farmers. However, many of the new farmers lacked experience, leading to a huge drop in food production. Combined with unemployment, poor economic management, and international sanctions, the economy collapsed. To deal with the crisis, the government printed more money. This caused hyperinflation. By 2008, inflation reached an unbelievable 89.7 sextillion% per year. The currency became worthless, and people carried stacks of cash just to buy basic items. Prices could double within hours. Third, Venezuela around 2016. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world and was once very wealthy. When oil prices were high, the country made a lot of money. Instead of investing in other industries, the government relied heavily on oil and used the money to fund subsidies. The government controlled most industries, fixed prices, and limited private businesses. When oil prices collapsed after 2008, Venezuela's income dropped sharply. Corruption, low tax revenue, and poor management made things worse, but the government continued subsidies by printing more money. This led to hyperinflation. The currency lost almost all value, and people even threw money away because it couldn't buy anything. This shows that even a resource-rich country can suffer disaster if it prints too much money. And it's not just these three countries. Others like Hungary and Yugoslavia have faced similar outcomes. The lesson is clear. Printing more money might look like an easy solution, but it usually creates bigger problems. People want money because it allows them to buy things they need, but money alone has no value. What's the use of having billions of dollars if there's only one loaf of bread or no bread at all? You can't eat money. You might then ask, why can't governments print money just to pay foreign debt? The problem is that printing money increases the total supply, which other countries can see through markets and economic data. This makes the currency lose value and trust. Foreign lenders won't accept money that keeps losing value, and it damages the country's reputation. So what's the real solution? Governments should focus on creating value. That means investing in education, infrastructure, technology, and supporting businesses. When production increases and demand is met, prices stabilize. Businesses hire more workers, people earn money through work, and products become more common. Competition keeps prices fair, spending becomes more responsible, and the economy grows in a healthy way. This is what countries like Japan and South Korea did successfully. If you're interested in learning more about inflation, I'll explain it further in another video. If you want more videos like this, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.